New Zealand has had one of the world's most successful responses to the coronavirus pandemic, but its economy still took a major hit. Now, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern is pushing for a 4-day working week in a bid to boost domestic tourism. Campaigners have long touted a shorter week as a way to improve people's work-life balance. Ms Ardern suggested it could also help New Zealand's tourism industry recoup losses from the drop in international visitors if locals have more time to travel within the country. She said the COVID-19 lockdown period showed that workers could be flexible and productive away from the office. Well, the idea of a shorter working week is something that Charlotte Lockhart has been campaigning for a while. She's CEO of 4-Day Week Global, and she joins me now live from Auckland in New Zealand. Thanks very much for joining us on Good Morning Europe. Now, we've heard this call from your Prime Minister for employers to consider a 4-day working week. But in this COVID-19 era, amidst an economic slump, is that really a good idea?
It's a good idea now more than ever. One of the things that we're finding as we talk to businesses around the world is that they're still needing to be innovative, but the focus on productivity is more important than ever.
And can you explain why productivity would be better if we work fewer days in the week?
So human nature is that we can't work fully on for 37 or 40 hours a week. And I know in France there was a shorter working week that was instituted. But the important thing to understand with what we advocate for is that if you encourage your staff to find those gaps in their day and then get rid of them so they can have time off, you find that your company will get a minimum of 20% more productive.
You talk about this hyper-connected era, and of course, if more people are working at home, is there a danger here that people may find it harder to switch off and the barriers between work and play become more blurred and that in turn increases the stress for people?
Look, I think this is a really important point because it's the reason why the 40-hour work week isn't working for us. When it was first instituted, we didn't have smartphones and email and all of those disruptions. And so we actually have to create some discipline. The difference we've had during the COVID lockdown, of course, is we've had to educate our children at home at the same time. But if we were to look at a flexible and remote working solution that suits most businesses, I think we'll find that the productivity will go through the roof.
Is this something that you really see taking off, or is it just in the spur of the moment now people are talking about this and then in due course not a lot is going to change?
It's not a new conversation. There have been companies that are doing 4-day week for quite some time, and we had Sana Mirren with the fake news Finland's going to a 4-day week. I mean, and here we have Jacinda suggesting it's a pretty good idea for boosting some domestic tourism, and this idea has now gone global. So we know that people are looking for working in a different way, and so we need to be examining that. COVID gives us the perfect excuse to really look at what is the future of work. It's a dreadful thing that we're going through, but the exciting thing of it is that we can reinvent the workplace.
Charlotte Lockhart from 4-Day Week Global joining us from Auckland, New Zealand. Thanks very much for coming on the programme.
Thank you.